Good morning, everyone. Welcome to my channel. It is Sunday prep day, and this morning I'm getting ready to prep breakfast, lunch, dinners, and snacks for my husband and I for the week. So on the menu this week for breakfast prep, I'm going to be doing breakfast burritos. And for lunch prep, I found a Skinny Taste recipe that is called zucchini chicken enchilada rolls. So I'm real anxious to try those this week. And then I'm also going to be prepping or just packaging up our snacks and then packaging up our dinners as well. I think I'm going to be prepping 3 dinners, possibly 4. I may do some type of prep with the taco night. So I hope that you all stick around and enjoy this video. And if you're new to my channel, I hope that you will consider subscribing. Make sure to click the subscribe button and also click the notification bell so you're notified anytime that I upload new content. And welcome, my name is Christy and I'm Planning Us Healthy. Okay guys, so the first thing I'm going to do is start with my breakfast prep. For the breakfast burritos, I am going to be using bacon. This is the Aldi Appleton Farm Center Cut bacon. This bacon is 2 points for 3 slices. I am also going to be using, of course, eggs. And then I think I'm going to go ahead and use some hash brown potatoes in them. And then I am going to use the Olay Extreme Wellness Wraps. So the first thing I'm going to do is get my bacon going. And if you watch me regularly, you know that I cook my bacon in the air fryer. I love the way it comes out that way. And again, I always say, I don't know, you probably don't even need to spray it with bacon because of the grease, but I always spray it anyways. And then I cook it in the air fryer at 400 degrees. I do mine after about 5 minutes. I flip it over, and then I do mine for probably about 10 minutes. I like mine really crispy though, so you kind of just have to keep an eye on it to see how crispy you like it. And I'm going to go ahead, even though I'm not going to use all of this bacon, I'm going to go ahead and cook it all, and then I will just put it in the fridge. And it'll get used, somebody will use it maybe in a salad or topped on a sandwich or something like that. So that is how I put it in there. I just kind of layer it over each other, and then I'm going to go ahead and put it in the air fryer now. So then the next thing I'm going to do is my eggs, and I'm going to be making 6 wraps, 3 for my husband and 3 for me. We'll have it 3 times this week. And normally I use the equivalent of 2 eggs in each one, but I actually only have 10 eggs, so I'm just going to do 10 this week. So I'll go ahead and do this. You guys know how to make eggs, so I'll go ahead and do this, and then I'll come back and show you what's next. I'm also going to go ahead and start cooking my hash brown potatoes, and I just cook these on the stove in a pan that's sprayed with olive oil spray. Okay guys, so my bacon is done. So you can see that. Sorry, I had to back you up because my phone was about to die. So, and I feel like the angle is off. So if it looks off to you, I apologize. But I've got my phone plugged in. I haven't upgraded to a camera yet, so I still use my phone to record. Alright, so that is done. So now I'm just going to go ahead and let that soak up. I have my eggs and potatoes done. I cooked 2 cups of the hash browns, and then I cooked the 10 eggs, and then I just mixed them all together afterwards. I didn't brown the potatoes because it's not going to matter, because once you put them in a wrap, same with the bacon, even though it's crispy, once you put it in the wrap after a day, it's not really crispy anymore, which is fine. We still love it that way. So I'm not going to, those are steaming pretty good, so I'm not going to wrap the burritos yet. I'm going to let that cool down a little bit, and then I'll get started on the lunch. Okay guys, so for the lunches this week, I am making a low-carb zucchini enchilada roll-ups. This is from the Skinny Taste website. Again, y'all know I love them. Love that website. So this recipe actually calls for rotisserie chicken, but I didn't buy a rotisserie because I actually had some chicken breast left in my freezer, and it was just 2 pieces. So I'm just gonna throw this in the air fryer and cook it, and then I will just shred it myself with an electric mixer. Okay, so I set my chicken in the air fryer. I'm doing it at 360 I'm gonna do it for about 15 minutes and see how it comes out. Those pieces it's actually one big chicken breast that I sliced in half, so it's not as thick, so it shouldn't take that long. So now I'm going to just cut up my zucchini, and I'm just cutting it. I don't have a mandolin, so I used to have one, but I don't know what happened to it. So I'm just gonna carefully cut these myself. I just need 12 pieces, and then I'm gonna grill them on the stove. So I should be able to get 12 good pieces out of this. That one's not good. So now I'm just gonna salt and pepper the zucchini slices. And I'm going to get them on my grill pan on the stove, and I'll show you what else we do next. Alright, so as you can see, I don't have a very big grill pan, so I'm going to have to do this in sections. I'm only going to be able to get 4 in there at a time. But I only need to cook it for just a couple minutes on each side. It doesn't have to cook through, just to get some grill marks and have it be a little bit more not so hard. So I'm going to go ahead and cook these, and then I'll show you how we do the rest of it. So we just want to kind of get them like this. Basically, we just want to get some of the moisture out of it. Okay guys, so now I'm going to add a teaspoon of olive oil to the pan. And to the pan, I'm going to add about a half a cup of minced onion. Actually, oh yeah, that is. And then I'm going to add 2 garlic cloves. And I'm going to let that cook for about 2 minutes. I guess I didn't have my pan hot enough again. I've been doing that lately. Okay, and then I'm going to slide you over. Alright, so I had my chicken cooking in the air fryer for right about 15 minutes. So now I'm just going to go ahead and shred it up. Okay, so my chicken is all shredded, and then I just need about 8 ounces of the chicken. So I'm going to have a little bit left over. So I'll use that for something else. All right, now we're going to go ahead and add the chicken to the pan. And then we're going to add some salt. And then we're going to add 1 teaspoon of ground cumin. Cumin, who knows how you pronounce that? And then we want a half a teaspoon of oregano. And then the recipe calls for a 1/4 teaspoon of chipotle chili powder. I don't have chipotle, so I'm just using regular chili powder. And then we're going to mix that all up real good. Oh, it smells so good. All right, the other thing it calls for is 1/4 cup of cilantro to put in this, and then also more cilantro to top it with. My husband does not like cilantro. I could carry either way, so I'm just gonna leave it out. So, but if you like cilantro, definitely go ahead and add that. And that piece of chicken is a fatty piece. All right, the next thing we're gonna add is 1/4 cup of red enchilada sauce. The recipe has directions for a homemade enchilada sauce, but I'm just going to use this canned kind, Old El Paso. So we want about 1/4 cup. And then I'm just going to cook this for about 4 or 5 minutes, and then I'm going to remove it from the heat, and I will show you what we do next. Alright, so the next thing we want to do is take a 13 by 9 inch pan and put 1/4 cup of enchilada sauce on the bottom. And then what I've done is I've weighed out the chicken mixture so that I can estimate about how much is going to go on each zucchini slice. Alright, so I zoomed in a little closer so you can at least see while I do one of these. So I'm just taking the chicken, I am weighing out, about 27 grams because I weighed the whole dish and then just divided it by 12 because we're going to be making 12. And then we're just going to take that, spread it over the zucchini. As best as we can. And then we're just going to roll that zucchini up. This zucchini is a little bit broken on the side. And put it in our pan. And then we're just going to keep doing that. So that's what they look like in the pan. So I'm going to go ahead and finish the rest of them. And I'll show you what it looks like when we're done. Okay, so that's what they look like when they're all rolled up. Some of them aren't very pretty, but that's okay. We're going to cover them up. So we need the rest of our enchilada sauce. The total amount of enchilada sauce for this recipe is 1 3/4 cups. We used 1/4 cup down on the bottom of the dish. We used 1/4 cup in the mix, and now we have 1 1/4 cups that we're going to use to top over it. So just go ahead and pour those over the top. Oh, I am so excited to try these. Alright, so once that is done, then the next thing we are going to do is top it with about 3/4 cup of reduced fat. I'm using reduced fat Mexican. And so this is going to be 3 for each serving. This is going to make us 2 lunches each. Each lunch is going to have 3 of the pieces. And it's going to be 5 Freestyle Smart Points for each serving. So 3 of those is 5 points. Not too bad. So now we're just going to go ahead and top it with some aluminum foil. And just lightly cover it. You don't have to cover it tight. And we're going to bake it for 20 minutes in a 400-degree oven. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and leave you down like that. And we're going to go ahead and get our breakfast burritos together. Just cover my table here. Alright, so I'm going to need 6 wraps. Okay, so what we're going to do is I have measured out our eggs and potatoes. So it's going to be right around 96 grams each. So we're just going to go ahead and weigh that out. And then add bacon. And then just roll it up. And there's our breakfast burrito. So let's just make sure everything is tucked in there real good and wrap it up in saran wrap. Okay, so I did just double check the app, and the recipe that I had in there was for 4 portions. So what I'm doing is I'm just putting 2 slices of bacon in each one. So these are actually going to be 3-point wraps. So what I'll do is I will put the recipe, all the recipes I link in the description box. So I'll go ahead and put the recipe in the description box based on using 6 of them. So even better, 3 points each. Okay guys, so the chicken enchilada rolls look so good. That's what they look like. So we get 3 of those for 5 points. So I'm letting those cool a little bit. In the meantime, one of the lunches we're having are tuna sandwiches. So I went ahead and just threw the tuna together. I used the Hellmann's light mayonnaise. So these each are 1 point. I just used 1 tablespoon of the mayonnaise. And then I'll put that in the fridge. And then the next thing, so normally I don't, when I do our cucumber sandwiches, I don't normally prep these ahead of time, but I did want to show you guys these. So we can just have these tomorrow, and then we'll have the other lunches the other days. So basically what I do for this is I take cucumbers, I peel them, and then I cut them in half. This is going to be a big one here. And then the next thing I do is just I use a melon baller and just kind of take the insides out. And then what I usually do is take a paper towel and just kind of get some of the moisture off of there. And then I just put some salt and pepper on there. So basically the gutted cucumber looks like that. And then what we're going to do is take a piece of Laughing Cow cheese. Just 1 wedge. And we're just going to split the wedge into 2 and put half on one side and half on the other. Just kind of smear it in there the best you can. And you can use any kind of cheese if you prefer a different kind of cheese, if you don't like the Laughing Cow cheese. This is actually the Aldi's version of the Laughing Cow cheese. And then we're going to go ahead and put a couple slices of oven roasted turkey breast. just basically take a slice and roll it up and put it in there. And then you're just gonna put the pieces back together. And there you go. There's your cucumber sandwich. And that actually is only a 1-point sandwich. So this could easily be a snack. If you're hungry, you know, you're finding in the afternoons you're hungry and you want just a snack, this would be a 1-point snack. So this is definitely something that I would do on a day that I'm having a higher dinner, which actually, you know what? I'm going to be doing these Tuesday. So I think I'm not going to go ahead. I'm not going to do the rest of them because I don't know how these, with the cucumber water, I don't know how they'll become Tuesday. But I did want to at least show you how these are. The reason I'm not having these till Tuesday is because Tuesday night we're doing the chicken tacos. And I still don't know. I'm not going to know because how many points those are until Tuesday night. Because we kind of do like a buffet style with tacos. But as far as knowing the points or anything, I won't know that until Tuesday. So that's where these come in handy for lunch because then I can always, I never have a problem eating too many points in tacos because if I have the points, then I will just add some more cheese and sour cream. So that is how you make those. So I'm gonna go ahead and clean this up and then we'll get started on the dinners. Okay guys, so before we move on to the dinners, I just wanted to show you how the lunches turned out. So I ended up adding some broccoli stir fry, just some frozen vegetables there in there, and we'll have that with it. So that turned out pretty good. So that's 5 points for that. And then I went ahead and cut up my fruit because you guys don't need to see how to cut up fruit. So I have cantaloupe and blueberries this week. And then I went ahead and measured out my cereal for the other 2 mornings. I will be having the burritos for 3 mornings and then my cereal 2 mornings. This is Fiber One cereal, 30 grams in each bag. And then I have my ½ a cup of unsweetened almond milk. And I actually ran it out when I was pouring it. So I just take these to work with me and then I have my cereal. I usually will cut up a banana into it. And then the other thing I did was packaged up my snacks. So these are, I use Snack Factory pretzels with Laughing Cow cheese. Again, the Aldi version of both. So these little snack packs are 4 points each. And I love having these already measured out. I have been having these sometimes instead of the wedge. I've been having the queso dip from Aldi. That is 1 point for 2 tablespoons. So sometimes I don't use the this cheese and I'll just dip them, I'll weigh out some queso and dip them in that. So I went ahead and did that. So now I will clean it up and we'll start on dinners. Okay, we are on to dinners. And let me go ahead and for those of you who already know how I do my dinners, you can just hang on a minute while I let everybody else know. So if you're new to my channel, basically for my dinners, I don't prep everything. I just portion them out into bags. I have my bags marked with what is in each bag and how many points are on them or are in a serving. So basically you could kind of compare it to like a meal delivery service. I'm basically just portioning everything out, weighing everything out, and putting it into the bag for 2 people. Each bag that I prep is dinners for my husband and I. So everything that goes into a bag is 2 portions. Sometimes I do cook more portions depending if I'm doing a double one, but for the most part, I think tonight everything except for the tacos is going to be for 2. So I'll go ahead and start with the tacos because these I'm really not portioning and I'm not putting the points on them because I'm not really sure exactly what we're going to be doing. So what I have done is I have at least gone ahead and made my meat. I'm just using ground chicken breast and taco seasoning. So I went ahead and did that. And when I did this with turkey breast, I think it was last week, 2 weeks ago maybe, it was really good by the time Tuesday night came from it sitting in that. It really, really tasted good. So I'm just going to put that in there. And then the other things that I just kind of went ahead and did is we're actually, instead of lettuce, we're going to be having slaw on it. So I just put some of that in a bag. I weighed out our cheese, so we will split the cheese. And then I'm going to just go ahead and throw our tomatoes in there and green onion. And then the other things that we will probably add, I'm not sure. I was thinking about doing like corn and black beans in it, but that might be a little much, so I'll see. And I'm not sure if I'm going to be using hard shells or soft shells or what I'm going to be doing at this point. So this is all I'm going to be doing for this one. Again, taco night is kind of buffet style, so it's kind of hard really to prep that. So, but at least getting this much does help a little bit. So that's that one. So let me put that away. So the next recipe I'm making is crispy baked cod with cheesy potatoes and broccoli. And I believe I have a cook with me out there for this one. I think it was from kind of when I first started my channel. Not that I'm real experienced yet. I haven't really been doing this for 3 months, but I think it was in the beginning. If there is one, I'll put a card up above that you can click on to go to the cook with me. So for this one, I am actually using the frozen Alaskan cod from Aldi. So these come in pre-packaged sections. So I just leave these in my freezer. I don't take these out until the night we have them. And for those of you who don't know, do not unthaw these in the plastic. They say that, I don't know, it lets off some type of gas or something when you unthaw it. So they say to always cut it out of the plastic first before you unthaw them. I never knew that, and I used to just throw these like in a pan of water in the sink. So I did read something about that. So whether it's true or not, I don't know, but I'm not going to take the chance. So I go ahead and take them out. So just for visual purposes, I'll be putting these in the bag, but again, I'm going to be putting them back in my freezer, and then I'll just take them out the night that we have it. Actually, we're having this tomorrow night, so I'll take it out tomorrow night. So all I'm doing with this one is I need about 3/4 of a pound of potatoes for the both of us. So I'm just going to put the potatoes in there. Actually, I'm going to take the potato out because I want to put the broccoli in first. So I don't wash anything, just go ahead and throw it in there. And I need about a 1/2 pound of broccoli. I don't necessarily need to weigh or measure it out or weigh it out because it's just broccoli and I will eat it. And as mentioned before, any leftover broccoli we have, our dogs will eat it. They love it. And then I'll put my potato in there. And then my garlic, I'm putting 2 cloves of garlic. It only calls for 1, but we love garlic. And then a 1/4 cup of breadcrumbs and about 3/4 of an ounce of Parmesan cheese. And then it does call for a tablespoon of Dijon mustard, but I'll just wait and measure that out tomorrow night. I'm not going to stick that in a baggie. And then I need a lemon. And then the fish. And again, I'm just putting this in here for visual purposes only. I'll take it out after I'm done. So we usually each eat 2 of these small cut fillets. I did forget too, there's also Italian seasoning. I mix Italian seasoning in with the breadcrumbs. There's the second one. I'll put that away. We got 2 more. All right, for our next dinner, I'm making honey Dijon turkey medallions. We're getting a storm. We actually lost a tree earlier because the wind whipped up so bad. So I don't know if you can hear the thunder, but it's thundering. Okay, so now is honey Dijon turkey medallions, and I'm gonna have this with ranch cauliflower, which we have been loving. It's basically just cauliflower with mixture of sour cream and ranch dip. Oh, it is so good. So I'm just gonna put my cauliflower in the bag. For the turkey, this is actually the Fit and Active turkey tenderloin from Aldi, and it comes in a package which is a 30-ounce package. So what I did is just split it into 2. There is going to be 15 ounces in here, which we're not going to eat 15 ounces. We usually have about a 5 or 6 ounce piece. So I will either either my daughter's going to be coming over one night this week, or going to be eating dinner one night this week, so we'll either have some for her or any leftovers we can give to the dogs. So I'm going to go ahead and put that in there. And then I have a mixture of 2 tablespoons of honey and 2 tablespoons of Dijon mustard. And that is going to be the topping for the turkey. I'm just going to mix that up. And everybody asks me where I get my little containers. These are actually containers that I've gotten from the meal delivery services like Home Chef, Blue Apron. I think I've tried every single one of them because I wanted to see how they were. And some of them were really good. But I just feel like I could do them for cheaper. And I can use my own things. Like, for instance, if something has an ounce of butter, I want to use light butter. And they don't, you know, they come with regular butter. So anyway, that's where I got these. So we're going to put that in there. And then we're going to go ahead and put our mixture together. Usually I do these in just little separate containers, one for me and one for my husband, but I'm just going to do it into one and we'll split it. So I'm going to need 2 ounces of sour cream. Actually, a little too much. And I'm using light sour cream. I always use light sour cream. I don't really use fat-free stuff too much because I don't really care for the taste of it. And I'm all about it's got to taste good. But I do use light. And then we want 1 teaspoon of the ranch seasoning mix. And I think this is a half a teaspoon. Yeah. And then stir that up. And I'm going to be having this Wednesday night. So I'm not going to have a starch carb with it. I'm not going to have a potato or anything because I weigh in on Thursday. So that's just how I always do it. I try and have my dinner be more of a light dinner, not a heavy one. And we'll go ahead and put that in there. You know what I forgot? I forgot about the hot sauce. So in with the honey and Dijon mustard, we're also going to put just a little bit of hot sauce. Stir that around. Forgot all about that. You can leave that out if you don't like stuff that has heat. I actually have not had this, so I can't tell you whether it has a lot of heat or not. All right. So there's that, and then with my other turkey tenderloin, I'm just going to put this one in the freezer, and I'll have that for another meal another week. So I have one more to do. All right, so for the last dinner, I'm doing mustard glazed air fryer pork tenderloin, and I'm going to have this one with roasted potatoes and slaw. And for the slaw, I'm probably just going to do like a vinegar, maybe apple cider vinegar type topping. I'm not really sure yet. So that may add a point, but it just depends. So I have this slaw. If you remember, I use some slaw for the tacos. So this is the rest of the slaw. I'm just going to go ahead and put that in there. And then I have about 3/4 of a pound of potatoes. And then I have my pork tenderloin, and we are doing about 10 ounces of pork tenderloin. And then for this one, the topping on this one is 3 tablespoons of brown sugar, about 1/4 cup of yellow mustard. I was a little bit short of having 1/4 cup of mustard, so I added in some Dijon mustard, which should be fine. And then about 1 teaspoon of Italian seasoning and a little bit of rosemary. And then I'm just going to mix that together. This is actually going to be a marinade. So the morning that I'm going to do this one, I will go ahead and put this marinade on the pork and let it sit in the fridge during the day. And then that way when I get home, it'll already be all marinated and I can put it in the air fryer. Just mix that all up. And also we need some garlic for this one, so I've got a couple things of garlic there. It doesn't have to marinate all day. It actually only needs 2 hours, but I work outside the house during the day, so I will be marinating it all day. So that is our final dinner, our fourth one. And then Friday night we're going to do subs for dinner. So I will get the whole spread out and show you what we ended up with. I think I'm done. I'm pretty sure. Oh, I did want to add in some green onions to the one with the ranch cauliflower. I'm going to add some green onion in with that because I love green onion on the ranch cauliflower. So I'm going to just add those in that bag. All right, so I'll clean up. You guys don't even want to know what it looks like over there on that side of my kitchen. So let me at least clean this part up and I'll show you what we ended up with. Okay guys, so here it is for this week. So we'll start with the snacks. Of course, I always have the same snacks. You guys know that. Have our fruit bowls, have our 3-point yogurts, 2-point pudding, and then I have my pretzels and Laughing Cow cheese. I may use the queso instead and dip that in, dip the pretzels in the queso. I have my 2-point cereal, Fiber One, a half a cup of unsweetened vanilla almond milk for 0. I have our breakfast burritos. My husband and I will have these 3 days this week. And then for lunch, I have tuna that we will have 1 day. And then I have the cucumber sandwiches that we will have 1 day. And then I have the zucchini chicken enchilada rolls, which I cannot wait to try those. They look so good. So we will have these 2 mornings. And then I have our dinners, honey Dijon turkey medallions with ranch cauliflower, mustard glaze air fryer pork tenderloin with roasted potatoes and slaw, our chicken tacos, and our crispy baked cod with cheesy potatoes and broccoli. So that is what we ended up with for this week. Okay everyone, so we got another week down. So I'm going to be putting pretty much all of the recipes down in the description box. Sometimes I do get the video uploaded and then it takes me a day to add the recipes, but usually I have them on there at the same time. So I want to again thank everybody for all your continued support. Everybody has been just amazing with the interaction that we've all been having, and I really do appreciate it. Again, if this was your first time, I hope that you're impressed with this, and I hope that you get some inspiration, and I hope that you will subscribe. I hope everybody has an amazing week, and I hope you all at least do one thing for prep. So let me know in the comments if this has made a difference to you and if you've started doing a prep and what you've been doing. And please, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and put any comments down below. And I will talk to you in my next video. I am Christy and I am planning us healthy.